Welcome to SOCi training. Lesson 4, Conversations and Reputation. In this lesson, we'll learn how to engage with customers from within SOCi and respond to reviews. We're going to get started today by looking at the Conversations module. You'll notice that I am in my account level dashboard, so you'll see test location there. And I'm just going to go down to the Conversations tab and click the arrow to expand this module. And the very first thing we're going to see is engagements. Here you'll find your social engagements. You can monitor and reply to conversations across all your social networks right from this screen. So there's quite a bit to look at this screen. I'm going to start with the top menu navigation. The first tab you're going to see is all engagements, and this is where you're just going to see any kind of comment or message through social media through all of your accounts. So you'll see Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram if you have any. We're going to skip the My Tasks tab right now. It's something that we'll use in the future, but we're not set up to use right now. The next tab is comments. Here you're going to see comments that people left on either Facebook or Instagram posts. Private messages. Again, this is if someone messaged you via Facebook privately. And then negative engagements, and this is just going to pull out just the negative ones. So if you want to hit those first, that might be a good place to start. So I'm going to go back to this All Engagements tab. In this area, you have a few different ways that you can sort through your comments and all of your engagement. Right now, since I'm dealing with test accounts and just test engagements, I've only got 5 things to deal with, but you might find yourself with a really, really long list. So if you want to, you can sort those. You can sort out just the positive messages. You can sort out neutral or negative. I'm going to take it back to all sentiments. You can also search by keywords, tags, network. If you want to just look at one of your networks at a time, you can do that. And then you can also get really specific with this last drop down over here. I'm just going to leave it as it is for now since I don't have much to deal with. One of the things that I do want to mention is we talked about on your dashboard the engagement sentiment. I'm actually going to go back and show you that real quick. This little guy right here. Now you'll notice whenever I was doing this before, I just had 2 positive comments. I've gone in and added some additional engagement so that I can show you more. But you also see I have 2 negative and 1 neutral, so I'm kind of hanging out in the neutral area. So now I'm going to go back to this engagement page, and I want to show you something. I mentioned that sometimes the program can misread conversations or comments as negative when they're positive or vice versa. You'll see this one, what are your buffet hours? I'm not sure why this is negative unless it's just because it's a question. The second one makes a little more sense. Pepperoni and mushroom, I think not. So it's just going to interpret this as negative even though it's not. And then you'll see I have a neutral one and a couple of positive ones as well. So just be aware that while these engagement sentiments are very useful in helping you navigate through all of your comments, your sentiment meter might be a tad off because of those misreads. So let's respond to one of these messages. Let's look at this second one here. This is the one that says pepperoni and mushroom, I think not. So I'm not really sure what they're responding to there. So I'm going to click on this respond button, and you'll see that what they're responding to is that most popular pizza toppings post. So I'm assuming that pepperoni and mushroom is the Texas toppings, which is why my fake person said that. And I'm just going to think of something witty to respond back with, like, right? I thought for sure it would be barbecue and tacos. You can also add an image if you'd like. I don't think I have a good picture of a barbecue and tacos pizza, so I'm just going to say respond. And just like that, your reply was successfully submitted, and that's what it'll look like on Facebook. So I'm going to close that, and you'll notice now this is marked as resolved, and you can still view it, and you can actually still respond again if you'd like. All right, so that's it. One thing I do want to mention while we're in this page is that it's not just important to respond to negative comments. It's also just as important to respond to positive engagement, because this is the kind of people that are your biggest fans already. And so by talking to them and just having a conversation with them, you're going to make it to where they're more likely to talk about you in the future. For instance, on this neutral one right here, I'm a little scared to try this one, but I think I might go for it. That sounds like that's a Pizza of the Month one. Yeah, it sure is. So maybe here you could say something like, "It'll be on the buffet. Come try it." All right, so simple, easy way just to have conversations with people and to keep them going. Same thing with these positive comments. Obviously, where can I get some of your awesome products, which is very generic because I just typed it in. You know, you always want to respond to something like that. You can just put in the website or come by the store. Yep, just anything just to let them know that you want to have a conversation with them. And then if you want, as things start to get more full in here and you have super long lists that you want to get rid of, you can go back and find some older ones and you can archive them. I wouldn't really delete them, but you can archive them just to get out of your way. The last bit of advice for your engagements section is that you try to respond to all of these comments that you get within 24 hours. Again, I stress that it's very important for you to also respond to the positive comments. And if you have the ability, I would respond to those as soon as possible. So that's about it for the conversations tab. We are going to do a more advanced training session on the discovery and rules tabs, but for right now, we're going to skip those and move on to reputation. To get there, we do just what we did before. We're going to click on the arrow next to the reputation tab in the sidebar, and it's going to expand our options there. So the first page that you're going to see is your insights. It's going to tell you overall how many reviews that you have and the stars on those, and break it down by network as well. So you see Facebook, which is the only place that I actually have any reviews. So my chart looks kind of plain, but yours should look a lot more exciting. You also see reviews by source and reviews by sentiment and reviews by response time. So this is going to start populating as you start responding to reviews. Like I said in the engagement panel, it's very important that you respond to all reviews within 24 hours. So that does it for the insights. Let's scroll back up and let's look at the next section, which is reviews. Here you'll see a list of all your reviews from all your connected review networks. So of course I've only got Facebook connected because I don't have any test review networks. So I've got one review from Facebook. Just like before, you can filter these by positive, negative, or neutral sentiment. You can filter them by response time, network, and the date of the review. So since I've just got the one, this is what we've got to do. This is just like the conversations panel. All you have to do is click respond. If it's a Facebook review, you're going to be able to respond to that review right here within SOCi. So I'm going to say, "We're so glad you love us. Can't wait to see you again." Submit that. And there you go. Now you see that it's been responded to. So it's as easy as that. Now there are a couple of caveats. I'm not sure about all the review networks, but I do know that with Yelp, if you have connected Yelp and you are logged in on Yelp when you come in here to respond to a Yelp review, it's simply going to take you from the SOCi window and open a new window in Yelp. Like I said, if you're already logged into Yelp, it's going to take you directly to that comment. If you're not logged into Yelp, you're going to have to log into Yelp and then find that review. So I would say before you start reviewing, log in. So that's it. Reviews are super easy. Again, the most important thing to remember is that you respond to all reviews. do so creatively. Think about our personality traits as a brand while you're responding. And of course, if you ever have a review that you don't know how to respond to, please give us a call and we can help walk you through it. We've seen a lot of this stuff before. One other thing that I would like to mention, and it's hard for me to show you here because I don't have a good example of it, but if you do see, you have a negative review, you go in and you respond to it and you say, I'm sorry that you had this experience. Please contact us via email so that I can hear more of your story, blah, blah, blah. And then they never respond back and you're stuck with a 1 or 2 star review that you can't do anything about. The most important thing for you to do is just go in a couple of weeks and say, well, I'm sorry that we didn't hear back from you. We'd really like to help work this out. Something like that. Just something to show other people that are reviewing your page or that are looking at your reviews on Yelp or whatever platform it may be, that you do indeed try to settle this stuff. All right, so that's about it for the reviews section. We are going to get into solicitation over here and notifications in a more advanced video, but for right now, we're going to leave it at this.